Hey everyone, this is JF Richards, and welcome to the Sacred Nights podcast. Today, I'll be telling you about what inspires me to keep going with writing. The general idea of writing, I view it as something to help me channel something that I have found and maybe build it into something people will want to listen to or read about it or even something to see. People never always understand how the creativity with books works. Most people think it's very, very complicated. You may think that you have to have an excellent grade or a mastery over English, when in reality it actually isn't always that easy, and it's not that simple. In fact, I didn't really do well in most of my English classes. Heck, most of my grades were actually borderline. In fact, most of them, I even struggled a lot to even get a good grade. Though my grades were decent, just not the perfect grades one would expect. In fact, many stories I come up with, a lot of them come from different types of inspiration. Whether it be a picture or a story that is based in reality, even trying to find out the truth about something when you don't know the answer. Or even having something as small as a toy or a gizmo or something that helps spark the inspiration. And for most of my creative ideas, they all come to me in various ways. Mostly, they come to me when I'm just doing what I like to do the best, whether it be playing games or reading books, or even learning about people that experience a lot of hardship. Because I learned on YouTube that there are many stories out there. Most of them were all based off of real things that happened. And sometimes we have to learn from others to see if there's something even better. And I always thought that creativity is something we all have to find the spark of at some point. I always wondered how many books are out there that have many wonderful stories. As a writer myself, I try to think of many different ideas. I almost envision myself as a library filled with many different stories that are based off of things that I've dealt with, such as my dad being a harsh person, the friends I made, even the adventures I went on, and while going on vacation. And even some other stories are usually ones that were shared with me by other people, whether it be my closest friends or even my relatives. Even I have stories that I haven't even started finishing yet. Like even some of them come from different forms of visual representation. In fact, one story that is currently in production is about a hero who is the champion of the sea. Though the story he may have started out with as just something I came up with from an AI chat, but at least I thought maybe I could do something bigger, because I try to understand that if you want to make something good, start at the beginning. Come up with an idea and decide to work, basically try and weave the story into what you want it to be. Add characters, add a setting, add more concepts, such as what's my character going to go through to help them grow as a person. Or even better, what would I do next? Or could I even learn to tie these stories together to have them intersect with each other? Many stories people may assume are just one story arc, but usually a story arc can take multiple stories, and you can learn a lot about things if you just open your eyes and see what you can do. And arguably, writing is not always easy. In fact, it's kind of tricky with some things. Sometimes you gotta know the right words, the right phrases, even the proper format for this kind of thing. Because when you write stuff, don't always think you're gonna be Stephen King or William Shakespeare or many other famous authors who wrote wonderful stories. Sometimes you gotta learn to take things one step at a time. Initially, what most people think of being a writer, you think that I write a book, it becomes popular, they'll go and do all these other things, like they might make it into a movie and so on. But it's not always that simple. I've read many books that have become high blockbuster films, but sometimes you gotta learn to take these things one step at a time. Because when you're trying to write something for a book, sometimes you gotta understand the pictures are not always in the book, they are in the words. Sometimes the words are just enough to show you the way. Many people will enjoy stories because they get to see something through the eyes of another person. Like in memoirs, for example, when you read a memoir, you're looking through the eyes of the person it's about. Such as you learn about why they had to go through all this hardship, and why they deal with certain aspects of themselves, and even understand how they came to be the people we know now. Because you can't just tell a person just from one thing. And I believe that goes with the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Because there's always more to a book. And writing is always inspiring in many ways. And even most inspiration comes from many different forms. I know many of my inspirations came from very popular video games, films, TV shows. And a lot of them, they have something in them that can show me something better. But sometimes you gotta learn to try to be original as much as you can. Because sometimes your idea may stem from someone else's idea, but sometimes you gotta learn to, if you may have something that was inspired by another idea, why not try and think about what you want? Think about what would you do if you were the writer for this story. But you'd have to understand that the story you're writing has to be your story, not someone else's story. Many of the wonderful books that I've read, and many more that are out there, many of them inspire me every day. And even though I feel as if my book isn't doing well, but I know that I inspire a lot of people. I even recall that I helped inspire a bunch of students at my old high school. And I think there's more to our world, to what we think. Well, that's all for this episode of the Sacred Knights podcast. I'm Jeff Richards. Keep adventuring, keep reading, and keep adventures alive.